All right, we're doing this video here because I wanted to cover a little bit on Trump, because Trump is the man. Trump is very, very strong individual when it comes to actually talking that shit and backing it up. That's one thing I do respect him about. He is going through a little bit of turmoil now after the impeachment trial, but I will say this: I actually thought he was gonna beat it, and he did. You know, who else was gonna beat that? Trump actually did a lot of good in office amongst all the negative things people do say about him. You can't read into everything the media does post. That is true. He is facts. They've been actual facts for a lot of people in life. So now, moving this along, Trump's gonna be able to run for president again since he was acquitted on those charges, and now he's facing other legal trouble as well going forward on some other stuff. I guess they investigating him for criminal charges on some other stuff, y'all. This is why I'm actually trying to learn myself. I haven't had time to get into it. I would have been did it sooner. So let's get into this a little bit. So Trump. Let me see who's got the most views. Let's see what YouTube got. Oh, and if you guys can, please hit the like and subscribe button real quick while I'm trying to get organized, because I'm damn sure messing up here. All right, who should we put on? Let's go with. Let's see what these guys got to talk about. It got 31,000 views, so nah. Let's not go with that. Let's go with the one with the most views today. Wow, Saturday Night Live. We gonna have to definitely pull that one up. So let's just go with Fox. Not ABC. I'm sorry, y'all.
The acquittal of former President Trump in his second impeachment trial. 7 Republican senators voted along with Democrats to convict Trump. That fell short of the 2/3 majority needed. Lawmakers are now pushing for a 9/11-style commission to investigate the Capitol insurrection. ABC News political director Rick Klein joins me now for more. Rick, some of the Republicans who voted to convict Trump are now facing backlash. Senator Bill Cassidy has been censured by the Louisiana GOP. That's just one example. What does this mean for the future of the Republican Party?
It means that being done with impeachment doesn't mean being done with the consequences of President Trump. He has driven a real division, a spike through the Republican Party, reflected by the fact that you had this record number, 7 Republican senators vote to convict, 10 did so in the House. It means primary challenges, it means threats, it means an ex-president who now, by all accounts, is fixated on political revenge. And it means a Republican Party that doesn't know its path forward. It has been split wide open by this, by President Trump, by the aftermath of the election, by this impeachment trial itself, and it is no closer to being healed, to being united today. A lot of the party official organs continue to raise money on the idea of impeachment, even though, of course, we had this record number of Republicans just support it.
And there's now talk of a 9/11-style commission to investigate the siege. What's the likelihood of that actually forming, and what kinds of things would a commission like this look into?
Yeah, I think it's likely to happen because now that we're past impeachment, censure really is fading as a viable option. Speaker Pelosi among those saying it really doesn't even make sense to pursue it. So instead, you have an opportunity here to get some real answers. And I was struck covering this impeachment trial how many unanswered questions there are. The surprise information from a Republican congresswoman that derailed things on Saturday morning, just one example. You want to know what Kevin McCarthy was saying to the White House, what Mike Pence was saying and hearing. You want to know, frankly, what was security posture happened to allow this to occur, to allow it to go as long as it did. It remains shocking 5 weeks later how long the siege took
Damn, they
place, how
turned up
violent
that
and awful it
motherfucker,
was.
bro.
There are so many answers. I think it matters for political accountability as well as, I think, security measures and coordination of different forces. So this seems big enough to warrant a commission like that, and I think it's probably gonna come together in the coming days.
And Rick, do you think the contentious nature of the trial could affect President Biden's hopes for a bipartisan COVID relief bill and immigration reform, among other things on his agenda?
Well, sure, but another way is that this President's Day, Biden gets his presidency back. This has been hanging over everything that he has done for the first 3+ weeks in office. He's going to be on the road a few times this week for the first time as president, drumming up support for COVID relief, and he has tried to stay as far away as possible from impeachment. He has been pursuing the COVID relief legislation, pursuing a legislative agenda, and frankly, one of the decisions that went into, one of the factors that went into the decision to not have witnesses was that Democrats recognized that the Biden agenda is stronger as soon as you get on the other side of impeachment. Yes, this drove Republicans apart. It also, though, brought a lot of people to their partisan corners, and it just consumed a lot of oxygen, a lot of energy on the Senate floor. That's done now. So Biden, I wouldn't say he gets to start fresh, but he does get to at least have the field more to himself as he makes a case for COVID relief and other top priorities.
And then what about former President Trump? What happens for him now that this trial is over?
Yeah, I mean, look, the biggest actual consequence of this acquittal is that he can run for office again, and he's going to make noises about it. There's no doubt about it. People are going to be looking for signals from him. The CPAC conference, the conservative conference later this month, we now know is going to include Don Jr., among others. They're going to make noises about Trump making a comeback. Though in the meantime, I think a lot of focus around Trump world is going to be how to exact political retribution for Republicans who, in their mind, betrayed him. Are there primary challenges afoot? How can he channel that energy? He will raise a lot of money. I don't expect that he's going to run again in 2024, but I also don't expect, Diane, that he's going to say so anytime soon.
All right, Rick Klein in Washington for us. Thank you.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news.
All right, y'all. All right, so basically what we got from that was this. Trump did not. He did say go down to the Capitol and voice your opinion. Yes, he did. His attorney got him off pretty good. Actually, the guy said the same thing I said, if I'm correct. Don't listen to what the media is saying. They're blowing it up too big. I think this is his attorney right here. Bear with me, y'all. How long was this damn video? No, let me just play it. This one of Trump's attorneys speaking. He actually had some good stuff to say about the case and just in general life. I wish this man come on. Where is he at? Man, that's not what I was trying to do, man. There we go. Man, y'all need to hurry up, man. We ain't got all day. Man, this is whack. When this man gonna start talking? I guess there's something wrong with my... Well, scratch that. And let's drop down. Well, got 1 million views. Gotta do Saturday Night Live. Can't lose.
I'm Colin Jost. Well, like so many other men living in Florida, Donald Trump has once again escaped from justice. This has to be the dumbest trial I've ever seen. Here's how dumb it was. The jurors who were deciding the case were the ones attacked by the defendant. The trial took place at the scene of the crime. And then right after the trial ended, one of the jurors who voted to acquit Trump ran out and said, "Someone's got to prosecute this guy. He did it. This man belongs in jail." I mean, what if you're going to do? Are you going to impeach a president for anything? Don't you think it's sending a mob to kill the vice president? I feel bad for Pence. 43 of his work friends were like, "Oh, come on, Mike. They only tried to hang you. Stop being such a drama queen." I think it would be hilarious if Biden now sent rioters back into the Capitol. And he was like, "What? You guys said it was fine."
During Donald Trump's impeachment, House managers showed security footage of Capitol rioters violently attacking police. But here's a little Black history lesson for you. Just because there's video evidence doesn't mean you're going to get a conviction.
Video evidence of the violence on January 6th showed that Senator Mitt Romney and Vice President Pence both had close calls with rioters. So let me get this straight. You're a white supremacist mob, and you go after these guys. The two whitest guys I could think of. They make me look like iced tea. Hey, look, I know there are probably bigger things happening in the world, but
Whoa, what the fuck? Hold up, time out.
What happened here? It looks like he's selling
Whoa.
fireworks out of the back of an LT.
Yo, check this out. That's Ted Cruz. Does he got the mullet thing going? I mean, is that the light skin? I mean, is he going bald? What's going on here? I mean, check that out again. That is Senator man. Woo-wee. A lot of partying, a lot of cocaine. I don't know what to say about that. But I'm trying to figure out, where is Ted Cruz's head been after getting his balls snatched by Trump? I mean, I'm just being a man here. Everybody entitled to their own opinion. Let's hear me out real quick. Trump insults Ted Cruz's wife. Ted is pissed off. Ted responded back negatively. They did the campaign run before Trump was president. And when he beat him in the polls, Trump had to eat his words. And he said he wasn't supporting him, but he was. Then he said what? He just keep changing up his mind. So I don't know where he stand at, to where Cruz may not be in that seat too much longer if you can't pick a side or whatever's going on. Because everything Trump was trying to do, he's trying to save him or whatever, with help. I don't know. But Trump got a lot of support. But I'm like, anyway, I'm not going to touch on that too much. But that's a funny haircut, man. All right, back to it.
I'm pretty sure I've seen this guy handcuffed crying on a curb at cops. I mean, what are you doing, man? You're a senator, not the manager of a paintball range. At least the manager of a paintball range has some leadership skills.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, who was the real-life model for Mo Sizlak, announced that more New Yorkers will be eligible for the COVID vaccine beginning next week. New Yorkers will have to provide documentation of their condition and answer medical questions like, what's the matter, you?
Governor Cuomo also announced that he will allow sporting venues to open starting February 23rd, but limit them to 10% capacity, better known as Jets level.
All right. Pause there real quick. Thank y'all for staying with me as we do a little bit more surfing. Yeah. What? That's a year ago. What the fuck? We ain't going that far back. Let's see what CNN has to say about Trump. "22 hours ago, 4 hours ago, 7 minutes.
Well, impeachment may be in the rearview mirror, but former President Trump's legal worries certainly are not. CNN White House correspondent Boris Sanchez is in West Palm Beach this morning. And Boris, new investigations adding to a laundry list of legal issues facing the former president.
Yeah, that's right, Bianna. Former President Trump expressing relief over the weekend at being acquitted in the Senate impeachment trial. Privately, though, sources close to Trump say that he is concerned about potentially facing criminal charges, and it appears there is cause for that concern. For one, federal investigators have made clear to CNN that they are looking at everyone and anyone involved in the violence that we saw on Capitol Hill on January 6th. And the DA, the Attorney General, I should say, in Washington, D.C., has acknowledged that that office is looking at potentially charging former President Trump for his involvement in the insurrection. On top of that, investigators at several levels in New York are looking at Trump businesses, both potentially for criminal and civil litigation as well. There are allegations that the Trump organization committed tax and insurance fraud. And beyond that, Trump could potentially be indicted in Georgia for his attempts to overturn the results of the 2020 election in the Peach State. There is one inquiry there. There's also a criminal investigation looking into Trump's calls to the Georgia Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger.
Man,
And
we don't
beyond
care
that,
too
Trump
much
is
about all
facing
that.
a number of defamation lawsuits, including from two women that allege that Trump sexually assaulted them.
Oh my
We should be
God.
clear, Trump has denied any wrongdoing in all of these cases, and the Trump organization does maintain that all of its business practices are done in compliance with the law. Deanna?
But no doubt, the former president is facing some serious legal exposure.
3, the Department of Justice does know what to do with such people.
So it's no surprise that the president was not happy with that performance from Bruce Castor, but is this an open invitation for the Justice Department to now step in and bring charges?
I don't think the Justice Department needed an open invitation. They can certainly launch any investigation they'd like as it relates to incitement, and it appears that they are seriously looking at the incitement issue through the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office and the federal prosecutors and DOJ. More troubling is the issues going on for the president are the issues going on, I imagine, in New York with the district attorney's office and the AG's office looking at business practices. It just appears that the former president is going to be tied up in legal issues.
About it, right? So I think the number of attorneys who this president, the former president, has gone through is sky high. That may make many Americans say, hey, we've heard about legal issues in the past for the president. Why is this any different? Is he facing more legal exposure now? Should he be more worried now?
The president's been used to civil litigation for his entire career as a
Yep.
businessman.
I don't think Trump's gonna
Serve as
try.
his personal counsel.
All right.
Why not?
Look, I just would not. I wouldn't take on that representation at this point in time for all the reasons we've seen. He tends to run over his personal attorneys and not take their advice when he gives it to them, and tries to strategize beyond what the lawyers are trying to do in court. So that's not something I would take on as a personal attorney.
All right, Jim Schultz, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
All right. Now let's get into let's go Trump news. See what comes up. 29 videos. 6 minutes. Let's see what's in future. NBC just did this 17 hours ago. See what they got to say.
Former President Donald Trump emboldened after escaping Senate conviction. His allies arguing his acquittal only cements his central role within the GOP.
The Trump movement is alive and well. All I can say is that the most potent force in the Republican Party is President Trump.
Trump hinting at what's on the horizon. In the months ahead, I have much to share with you, and I look forward to continuing our incredible journey together. He's sitting on a roughly $30 million war chest, according to federal campaign filings, which he could use to back primary challenges by candidates he supports, as the Republican Party spirals into an internal fight over its future direction. But uncertainty looms over nearly every aspect of Trump's post-impeachment life. From his political future to the possibility he could face criminal charges, now without the legal protections afforded sitting presidents. Prosecutors in Georgia announcing a new investigation into his attempts to overturn the state's 2020 election results.
Something occurred here within my jurisdiction that may be criminal, and if that is the case, it needed to be investigated.
In New York, prosecutors are probing financial dealings around some of Trump's best-known Manhattan properties, according to the Wall Street Journal, scrutinizing loans he took out on Trump Tower and Trump International Hotel, among others. The Trump Organization did not respond to NBC News' request for comment. And then there's the possibility Trump could still face consequences for inciting the deadly Capitol insurrection, as suggested by Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell.
We have a criminal justice system in this country. We have civil litigation. And former presidents are not immune from being accountable by either one.
And Jeff joins us now from Washington. Jeff, Senator Lindsey Graham says he's headed to Florida to meet with Trump.
That's right, and he says he's going to encourage Trump to work with Republicans to ensure they win back the House and Senate in 2022. But even those Republicans who are eager to move on from Trump, they're still grappling with the fact that he's still very popular among the party's base. Jose?
Jeff Bennett in Washington, thank you.
All right.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.
All right, y'all. I'm about to wrap this up. Appreciate y'all taking the time to stay with me all throughout these 20 minutes of the recording. If you have not done so, please hit the like and subscribe to my channel. I'll keep these news updates coming. All right? You have a blessed one.